I thought Time's Person of the Year was an award. That's not how it worked out for Elon Musk. Like many of you, I was excited to watch the interview of Elon Musk after he was awarded Time's Person of the Year. No person is more deserving. He and Tesla are solely responsible for moving the needle on the auto industry to the electric vehicles. Now, I don't read Time. I don't read any magazine because I have a computer. However, I was under the impression that Time Person of the Year was an award or an accolade. Joe Biden thought it was, and so did Kamala Harris when they received it.
Thank you for the honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
However, as I watched the interview with Elon, I couldn't help thinking that this was much more of a hit piece on him and Tesla as it was an award. Now, maybe I'm just being oversensitive because I am an Elon and Tesla fan. I'll let you decide at the end of this video. Let's jump in. The interview starts off great. I thought the first question was a good one. Let's have a look.
So, which living person do you most admire?
I admire anyone who is making a positive contribution to humanity, whether that is in entertainment or in technology, or, I think anyone who's sort of doing things that are really useful to the rest of humanity is, I admire them greatly.
However, right after he answers his first question, the negativity about him starts. Notice how she starts her diatribe? Also take a note of her demeanor. Her very first sentence is, "It's hard to escape Elon Musk." Hey Molly, I'm not here to escape him. I actually clicked on your video to hear what he had to say, not listen to you at all.
It's really hard to escape Elon Musk's dominance over so many things in American life right now. He's got this rocket company that is completely dominating the space launch business. He's got a car company that is completely dominating the electric vehicle market. He's got 65 million Twitter followers, and he likes to make weird jokes and set people off. And sometimes with a single tweet, he can control the stock market or the value of various different cryptocurrencies. So this is a man who's just sort of become ever-present across a lot of different sectors. And this was really the year that he came into his own.
She has nothing nice to say about him throughout the entire piece. She criticizes his jokes and calls him juvenile. She's upset that he has millions of followers on Twitter, and she complains about him being able to influence the stock market. Right after she's off her soapbox, the next person does have something nice to say. This was the best observation in the entire piece.
His goal is to make humanity a multi-planet species, and at a time in which NASA has abdicated its operations to put people in low Earth orbit, and for the time being at least, put people on other worlds, SpaceX has stepped in like no other private company before it around the world.
Next up, we have an explanation of his wealth and how it's tied to Tesla and SpaceX. Right after that, Elon gets a loaded question. He doesn't take the bait, though, and gives the perfect answer. If he would have said, yes, we own the market, then he's not only an evil billionaire capitalist, but he's also a monopolist. Tesla's no longer the company that started the green revolution in the auto industry. They become the next Standard Oil.
Tesla has dragged the legacy automakers into the electric vehicle market.
Yeah.
Do companies like Ford, GM, Rivian, Lucid pose a threat to Tesla's dominance, or do you think you guys have so grasped the market at this point that you are going to own it?
Well, if somebody makes better cars than we do, then and they then sell more cars than we do, I think that's totally fine. Our intent with Tesla was always that we would serve as an example to the car industry, and that and hope that they also make electric cars so that we can accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. I'm confident in the future in Tesla, that it will do well, and I hope some of these other companies do well too.
Immediately after this answer, Time shows us a Tesla crash, insinuating Teslas aren't safe. Our favorite correspondent is back telling us about the federal investigation and defining what Autopilot is. She also notes that people inside Tesla are skeptical about FSD. Now, I doubt there are many informed people on Karpathy's team that are skeptical about FSD.
Earlier this year, this Tesla crashed into a highway divider in California, killing the driver. Another slammed into a parked fire truck in Utah. Both had the Autopilot feature on.
There is a federal investigation underway into the Autopilot software that Tesla has, which, despite the name, is not Autopilot software. It does not drive the car for you. People inside Tesla have expressed a lot of skepticism about whether the company's technology is eventually going to be able to get there.
Next up, another loaded question for Elon on Tesla's safety.
Are the cars safe? I mean, should I feel comfortable getting behind the wheel of a Tesla and saying, drive me where I need to go?
Well, the statistics that I think are at this point unequivocal that far more accidents off autopilot than on autopilot. So this is not to say that autopilot is perfect. Now to get to full self-driving where you don't need to pay attention, we still obviously have a lot of work to do. So as we get to the point where interventions are extremely rare, even in complex traffic situations, and get to the point where the probability of injury with full self-driving is much lower than with a human driving, then obviously at that point it would make sense to allow the car to drive itself and not have to pay attention.
Now, I'm sure at time they know how to use Google. A few searches would have turned up this clip.
This crash looks bad, but you'd actually be safer than you think. Much in part thanks to a key missing component, an engine. And it's one of the many features that makes Tesla's Model 3 sedan ultra safe in crashes.
But where'd this one?
Car safety has improved drastically over the years, and one company appears to be leading the pack. Teslas have consistently received 5-star ratings from organizations that perform crash tests, such as the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
Now, between you and I'm guessing everyone involved in this piece knows Teslas are the safest cars on the road. But that doesn't follow the narrative, does it? In the next segment, it's time to attack the rich and all the evil billionaires creating millions of jobs.
One of the main criticisms of him is just that he's so rich. Should any human being be worth $300 billion?
Molly doesn't like billionaires, unless, of course, they own Time magazine, providing Molly with a job, allowing her to push her own agenda.
Another Silicon Valley billionaire just scooped up a major news media property. Mark Benioff just bought Time magazine for $190 million. When the news broke, so did many hot takes.
Once again, the hypocritical anti-Musk correspondent is back, and again, whining about Musk's use of Twitter.
Elon Musk definitely uses Twitter in a way that no other business leader does. And it's gotten him into a lot of trouble in recent years.
His Twitter feed is juvenile, to say the least. He has insulted some important people in really immature ways. But when a person with 65 million followers and $300 billion is just having fun, that tends to create ripples in the larger pond.
Shortly afterwards, Elon's asked a question about his playful Twitter responses. The interviewer, while asking the question, first tries to imply his tweets aren't good for the brand.
You are, not to put too fine a point on it, the richest man in the history of the world and arguably the most influential. And yet you tweet freely and playfully and somewhat mischievously.
Yes, that's accurate.
So our feuds with policymakers are poking Jeff Bezos. Is that good for the overall brand?
Yeah, I don't really think about brand optimization, to be frank, as is obvious from my tweets, which are often self-inflicted wounds or humor that I find funny, but not necessarily that many other people find funny.
Right. You know, when you say take the red pill, do you worry about sending none too veiled?
I said take both pills.
Take both. Well, that's okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
But do you worry at all about activating, motivating the, political fringe?
Yeah, actually, when I said take the red pill, I didn't realize that was some politically charged phrase.
Right.
I was referring to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you accept reality for what it is.
Right.
But then it turns out it's also some accept right-wing dogma thing or something. I didn't realize that at the time.
Guess who's back? It's Molly. She's now on a new soapbox about the human toll Musk's ambitions have.
Elon Musk is someone who pursues his goals relentlessly, and I think that does sometimes make him blind to the potential human toll, the potential human cost that can create for some of the people who get sort of ground up in the gears of the things he's trying to do.
At this juncture, I turned it off. I clicked on the video hoping to hear about the plethora of Elon's accomplishments, but that's not what happened. And I won't make that mistake again when it comes to other videos produced by Time magazine. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and we'll see you soon.